Okay, let's take a look at one of ancient Egypt's absolute weirdest structures. I mean, at first glance, it just looks like a mistake, right? Like a project that went completely off the rails. But what you're actually looking at is a story of incredible ambition, a near-total disaster, and a brilliant fix that literally changed the course of architectural history.
So that's the big mystery we're diving into. Why the bend? The pyramid starts climbing towards the sky at one angle, and then suddenly it just seems to change its mind. How on earth did that happen? Was it a massive screw-up, or was there something else going on?
To get to the bottom of it, we first need to know what we're talking about. And honestly, the name for this architectural puzzle is just perfect.
Yep, it's literally called the bent pyramid. You see, unlike a true pyramid with those perfect, smooth, straight sides, this one has that very obvious change in angle about halfway up. This one-of-a-kind shape also got it a few other nicknames, like the blunt or even the false pyramid. If you're trying to get a modern picture of this in your head, the best comparison is probably a mansard roof. You know the style, where the roof has two different slopes. There's a really steep one on the bottom and then a much gentler one on top. The bent pyramid is basically that same idea, just on a totally mind-blowing ancient scale.
So, who was the mind behind this thing? Well, the whole story really kicks off with the grand vision of a very powerful pharaoh, a guy who is dead set on building the world's first perfect pyramid.
For this, we've got to go back in time to Dashur, Egypt, around 2600 BCE. The ruler at the time was Pharaoh Sneferu, and he wasn't just building another tomb. No, he was trying to pull off a massive engineering leap forward. He wanted to go beyond the older stepped pyramids and create the very first monument with perfectly smooth, straight sides.
And his vision was, well, enormous. The original plan was for a colossal pyramid that would soar 150 meters into the sky. This thing was meant to be a giant, a testament to his divine power and his personal gateway to the afterlife. Now, to pull that off, the builders started with an incredibly steep angle, a really daring 52 degrees. If they'd succeeded, it would have been absolutely stunning, a razor-sharp pyramid. But as it turns out, that steep angle was also its greatest weakness. So, construction is underway. Everything is going according to the grand plan. Until it wasn't. Right in the middle of building, the pharaoh's perfect vision slammed headfirst into a huge, catastrophic problem. The whole project was suddenly about to completely collapse.
The issue was the foundation. It just wasn't stable. All that immense weight from the stone, focused by that steep 52-degree angle, was just too much for the soft desert ground underneath. You could just imagine the panic as cracks started to snake their way through the inner chambers and passageways. The whole thing was threatening to come crashing down.
Okay, so you're the royal architect. You're facing total disaster. You can't just walk away from the pharaoh's pyramid, so you have to think fast. And they came up with an absolutely radical, last-minute fix to save the entire project. Their solution was pretty brilliant in its simplicity. They just stopped building at that unstable 52-degree angle. From that point on up, they switched to a much safer, much gentler 43.5-degree slope. This one change did two crucial things. It immediately redistributed the structural stress and dramatically lowered the total weight pushing down on that weak foundation. And that single ingenious engineering decision is exactly what gives us the pyramid's unique shape today. The bend you see isn't some weird design choice, it's really a scar. It's the physical proof of an ancient crisis and the clever solution that saved it from becoming a pile of rubble.
You know, it's so easy to look at the bent pyramid and just write it off as a failure, a botched job. But its real legacy, its true importance in history, is the exact opposite. It was, believe it or not, a blueprint for greatness.
To really get it, you have to see where it fits in the timeline of pyramid evolution. Before Sneferu, you had the older stepped pyramids. After Sneferu, you get the magnificent, true, smooth-sided pyramids like the ones at Giza. The bent pyramid is that crucial missing link. It's the moment the ancient architects learned, the hard way, how to build a stable, smooth-sided monument. And that's really the key thing to remember here. The lessons they learned from this near disaster, everything about foundations, weight distribution, and stable angles, were the exact lessons they needed to go on and build the incredible pyramids at Giza. So this mistake wasn't just a step forward, it was the essential breakthrough they've been looking for. So when you look at this strange, bent monument, what are you really seeing? An embarrassing architectural failure? Or maybe, just maybe, the single most important mistake in architectural history,
the crucial failure that made perfection possible.